for Valentine's Day, he surprised me. I was on the phone and he comes in with Whataburger. And I literally look at him like I'm freaking out. And he had someone, apparently they opened up in Vegas. And while we
Drove
were
down.
talking, someone drove, kept it warm, and then
No,
brought it
didn't
to
keep it
me.
warm. What
Did
I
you reheat
yeah, what
it?
I did was I got
It was
all the
so
parts to
good.
it and talked to the people there and figured out how I could reheat it the best way. And I was reheating it in all different ways, putting it together, and then yeah, I brought it to her. Because to me, someone like Sel could have
If you ever
anything in the
wonder
world.
what happens when two of the biggest names in pop defy expectations for a glitzy celebrity romance, picture this: a hot dog cart, laughter under a sprawling tree, and the unmistakable glow of love where candid simplicity replaces red carpet theatrics. In a world where extravagant gestures often steal headlines, Selena Gomez and Benny Blanco have reminded us that true romance often blooms in the gentlest, least expected places. Their first Valentine's Day as a married couple didn't take place at a five-star getaway or a rooftop bathed in city lights. Instead, the singer and the record producer turned to a garden picnic, a cart of nostalgic eats, and a timeless cluster of roses, showcasing a relationship that's as refreshingly real as the stars are brilliant. But don't mistake simplicity for lack of depth. Their celebration, meticulously documented across their Instagram stories, read like a love letter not just to each other, but to the power of living authentically together. The story began on Valentine's morning when Selena Gomez, lately celebrated as much for her chart-topping hits as her candid, approachable persona, let her 429 million followers peek into a scene straight out of an indie romance. In a sun-dappled garden, Gomez snapped a photo with an enormous bouquet of scarlet roses cradled in her arms. The flowers sat front and center, but it was a look of utter serenity on her face that captured fans' hearts. "He knows I love them classic," she captioned the moment, making sure the world understood that Benny Blanco, her husband of just a few months, had gotten precisely what mattered most: her happiness. Yet, as the hours unfolded, it became clear the roses were only the start. A hot dog cart, quirky, unexpected, thoroughly un-Hollywood, stood parked beneath the vast limbs of an ancient tree. Clad in relaxed attire, Gomez and Blanco looked every bit the couple who had traded flashbulbs for childhood nostalgia. Never one to miss the details, Benny Blanco took up his own Instagram storytelling. A prolific producer with a tongue-in-cheek sense of humor, he began with an unfiltered shot of garden that had already appeared on his wife's stories. This time, though, the image hummed with vibrancy, saturated with the colors of the afternoon and the kinds of details fans pore over: a gentle arch of sunlight, a shadow cast by the roses, the faint hint of a smile in the background. Blanco's next story revealed a wider perspective, a panoramic view of the tree that must have seemed ancient even before they were born. Under this natural cathedral, 2 picnic blankets and a smattering of snacks hinted at hours of laughter, confession, and memory-making, all away from prying eyes. But it was his final 2 posts that truly resonated with devotees of the couple. In one, Selena gazes upward, mesmerized by the roses dangling in the branches above her. In another, she gently inspects the floral arrangement, a mirror image of the romantic, affectionate all that's come to define their partnership. For Gomez and Blanco, sharing their Valentine's Day was less about performance and more about transparency. Both have long been open about a desire to lead real lives disconnected from the spectacle of their fame. Gomez, in particular, has spent the last few years advocating for mental health awareness and protection, championing the idea that joy stems from embracing imperfection and finding comfort in one's own skin. She's not alone. Benny Blanco, often the man behind the hits rather than the singer, has utilized his platform to showcase the beauty in vulnerability. In interviews, he's described Gomez as someone who makes every day brighter, not through grand gestures, but through daily reminders that true connection lies in shared experience. This Valentine's Day, that philosophy was on display for their followers, perhaps in ways more subtle, but infinitely more intimate than a glitzy gala ever could have been. To truly appreciate the depth of their celebration, it's important to understand the couple's journey. Selena Gomez and Benny Blanco first crossed paths through mutual circles in the music industry, but their connection sparked in the studio rather than the spotlight. Despite their shared successes on Billboard charts, across award shows, in front of the camera, their romance percolated quietly, shielded for months from the rumors and speculative headlines that dogged their every move. When they did finally confirm their relationship, it wasn't a red carpet debut or viral publicity stunt. Instead, they opted for candid social media posts, inside jokes, and subtle affirmations of gratitude for love that felt, as Gomez herself once described it, like being seen for the first time. Marrying in a small, private ceremony, the newlyweds have since made a point to honor uninhibited affection, never for effect, always for each other. Predictably, social media lit up as soon as the pair's Valentine's moments went live. But unlike the customary onslaught of envy or couple goals comparisons, most fans seemed genuinely moved by the understated sweetness on display. He brought her a hot dog cart and a million roses. Unreal, but somehow so real, one user commented. Others noted the nostalgia factor. How, after years of turbulence in both their personal lives, Gomez and Blanco had found, as another commenter said, the kind of laughing till you can't breathe love you dream about as a kid. Even with their fame, the pair seemed to invite their followers into a world where love is about showing up, small surprises, and the occasional garden hot dog. Why did this simple picnic resonate so strongly with millions? Perhaps it's a reminder that love doesn't need to be complicated. In a society obsessed with curated perfection, it's easy to lose sight of what actually sustains intimacy: time, attention, and a willingness to share both spotlight and shadows. In her own words, Gomez summed it up best during an interview last year. I want love that's bigger than an Instagram post or a night out. I want the kind of love you can feel across a crowded room or even just across a kitchen table after a long day. For Benny Blanco, the message is similar. She makes me feel like the only person in the world, no matter where we are. With that ethos guiding their union, it's no wonder their first Valentine's Day as a married couple was less about spectacle and more about the rituals that make relationships last. A hot dog cart might seem outlandish to some, but to them it's a symbol of laughter, shared memories, and new traditions being born under the open sky. Ultimately, the Gomez-Blanco Valentine's Day doesn't upend the rules of celebrity romance, so much as it gently rewrites them. Just as love shifts with every new stage of life, the couple seems intent on writing a script that's faithful to their story. The kind of story where creativity, humor, and tenderness matter more than diamond-studded gifts. In a year when headlines will surely continue to obsess over the next big thing, perhaps the greatest lesson from Selena Gomez and Benny Blanco is the most age-old one. That love, at its best, is honest, playful, and deeply rooted in the present moment. So as the sun set over their garden, two people, husband and wife, artist and muse, sat side by side. In every petal, every shared bite, every stolen giggle was a promise of a lifetime's worth of Valentine's days, each more real than the last. And for everyone watching, it served as proof that even in the glittering world,